Hello, everyone. It's Tuesday, April the 5th. Like I said over and over, one is one too many, but we have 11 additional deaths that I've got to report. And we have some reconciliations that I'll tell you about in just 1 second. But these 11, well, let me tell you about the reconciliations first so you'll know how the numbers are all working. We have, in the calendar year of 2021, we lost 3,948 people. There was 122 that have now been confirmed that they didn't have anything to do with COVID. And so they have been retracted from today's dashboard. With the 11 deaths that we have today, we are now at a number of 6,716. And that is really with the 11 and deducting the 122. Dr. Amjad will talk about a little bit more about this in just 1 second, but I go back to the 11 that we've lost and ask that you'll join in prayer for them. And like I said, these numbers are a little different, but we had 122 that I guess have now been confirmed that were not COVID-related deaths, and so they have been retracted from our dashboard. But now the 6,706th death is a 55-year-old male from Kanawha County. The 6,707th death is an 82-year-old male from Jefferson County. The 6,708th death is a 66-year-old male from Wood County. The 6,709th death is a 78-year-old male from Webster County. The 6,710th death is a 77-year-old female from Summers County. The 6,711th death is a 65-year-old male from Kanawha County. The 6,712th death is a 78-year-old male from Berkeley County. The 6,713th death in West Virginia is a 100-year-old male from Grant County. Gracious, how much wisdom he brought to all of us. And so thank you so much, sir. The 6,714th death is a 91-year-old female from Marion County. The 6,715th death is a 74-year-old male from Kanawha County. And the 6,716th death in West Virginia is a 75-year-old male from Mercer County. Please don't let them ever become a number. From the standpoint of our active cases, we have 263 active cases in West Virginia. That is a terrific number. We have 93 new positive cases today. That's a great number. Our daily positivity rate at 1.97, that's all good. Our cumulative positive cases are at 8.20. That continues to get better. Our recovered cases are 491,149. That's more. That's good. We have 135 people that are hospitalized right now. In the state of West Virginia, there's 38 patients in the ICU unit and 22 on ventilators, and every county in the state remains green. All good. From the standpoint of the new vaccine calculator, that's been brought to us from West Virginia University, Dr. Marsh and everything, it's all up and working and everything, and so you can visit that on our website, and it will tell you when you're up for your next booster shot or your next or the vaccine, and so please look into that. It could give you some great information and a tool that could make it a little bit better for you. Like I said, the CDC, expanded the eligibility for the additional booster shot, to people that are in their higher risk area and everything. Now people over the age of 50 can get their additional booster shot, which is the fourth shot, second booster shot, 4 months after the last dose that they had. And so this is especially important, to all these folks and everything. Of course, naturally, people that can also qualify are those that are very, very high risk with with all kinds of different problems. So nevertheless, 50 and older, you can get that additional booster shot if you're 4 months out. And please, please, highly consider doing that. These vaccines are really, really safe, but they have proven that they wear off. And when they wear off, you know, folks that are 50 and older, I mean, every single person that I read today, I think there was not, let me just double check. I think there's not one single person that I read today of the 11 that we lost that's not 50 and older. Get your booster shots, really important. We continue on our vaccine distribution update. We continue to make progress. It's slow and it's very, very difficult, but we're at 90.3. We've moved from 90.1 to 2 to 3 now of 65 and olders that have gotten at least one shot. That's good. All the vaccine info stuff is up on our website there and everything. All the free testing, take advantage. There's 42 long-term care, outbreaks that we have now. There's none in our church communities. Corrections, I want you to get this number. We had over 1,000 inmates that were infected. Now we have 5. We have 1 staff case. It's great work by corrections. Great job. From the standpoint of our rental assistance program for renters and for a combination of landlords with renters' permissions and everything, absolutely, it's still available. There's still money out there. There's significant money out there and everything. And if we can get you qualified, we're going to try every way we can to get you qualified. Please get in touch with us. That's for renters and landlords. Now, in addition to that, the new homeowner assistance program is now up and going. It's officially open, and really and truly, this could be tremendously beneficial to our homeowners throughout West Virginia. Now get this, the program can provide, if you qualify, assistance for past due mortgage payments up to $15,000, past due utilities up to $2,500, past due insurance, property tax payments, and other housing costs up to $5,000 and more even. Please take advantage. The multiplier effect of those dollars only helps us all across our state, and if we can do something here through the federal government monies that's going to help West Virginia families, please take advantage. From the standpoint of giving blood, I remind you over and over, check with your physician, and if you can do so, please seriously consider. From the standpoint of our Jobs Jumpstart program, I told you about 2 ladies that I ran into at a drive-through window of a fast food place. Probably shouldn't have been there, but nevertheless, those 2 ladies, both of them were talking to me. They were back to work. They were really proud of themselves being back to work. That's the main thing that I love more than anything. They were anticipating and hopeful of getting this $1,500 check, and I assured them that when they got through their with 8 weeks, and we wanted them to go on and on and on with their employment, they would be eligible. One of them had been back on the job working since October. And I said, are you glad to be back working? And both of them absolutely concurred, you're daggum right. Because you could just see it all over them. They were proud of themselves. They absolutely believed now that they were on their way to more good stuff and everything. I was really happy for them. It was good stuff, great stuff. This is really sad. But we lost a frontline worker in our healthcare community that had served us beyond belief. This fellow's name, Tim Kaufman. Tim was the greeter at the West Virginia Health Rights drive-through for COVID-19 testing and vaccination clinics. He welcomed every patient, handed them information that they'd need, coordinated shots and their tests. Over 2 years of COVID-19, Tim Kaufman greeted tens of thousands of people. The drive-through clinic had many days that had more than 800 cars pull up. We'll miss him. He was a superstar in every way. He did not die from COVID. You know, I don't think I'm releasing anything that I shouldn't, but I think Tim had a heart attack. But here's a man that God will absolutely hold in his arms and absolutely, I'm sure, is so happy and so proud of the accomplishments and what this man did for all of us. He served, did he not? A good man that'll really be missed. Please, please keep Tim Kaufman in your prayers. You know, he did so much for so many. We can't thank him enough. Today is the anniversary, the 12th anniversary of a tragedy, a mining tragedy that happened in West Virginia, the Upper Big Branch mine, when it exploded. You know, at that point in time, we lost 29 great West Virginians on that day. You know, it's hard to believe it's 12 years ago. You know, a tragedy that absolutely just, sent repercussions all through the mining community. My family's been in the mining business forever and a day. And we just know, and that's why I am so defensive of just this. Those guys and ladies, they strap on all their gear and absolutely go into a mining situation, and it's tough stuff, and it's risky, and we've done it forever as West Virginians. We did it and literally saved us in World War I, World War II, and then we got kicked to the side. These great people, great people, that a lot of mud has been thrown and said, we don't need them anymore. We just don't need them. And now all of a sudden, Russia is attacking Ukraine, and right on the doorsteps of all the NATO countries and everything of Europe. Absolutely right on the doorsteps. And now all of a sudden, we need them again, don't we? You know, these people have been unbelievable heroes over and over. 29 of them we lost 12 years ago today. 29 of them in a horrific explosion. Please, for all their service, to all of us, for how they saved us in World War I, World War II, and are saving us maybe again today. For all them, for all these great 29 we lost that day. Absolutely, keep them in your thoughts and your prayers, and when you see them, thank them. Thank them for what they do. Absolutely every day they crawl out of bed and they go to work in tough conditions. That's all there is to it. These are true American heroes. And, it's just hard to fathom, that this was 12 years ago. And time really marches on. But I tell you this also, many days, I've read in excess of 29 names. This pandemic has been numbing to all of us. We can't let that happen either. So please remember all these wonderful people that we lost here and all the great work that all of our coal miners have done forever and a day, and especially those that we've lost. But nevertheless, I thank our coal community. It is one strong community that really cares. I thank these incredible miners and their families that we lost. But absolutely, with all in me, I just want you to just know just this. We cannot become numb to this pandemic. We cannot become numb to losing the death of a coal miner. They've given us too much. So thank them so much. We have an Easter celebration coming up with the First Lady, and I think they're going to call it Bunny Brunch. And I really believe now that it's going to start at 10 o'clock, in the morning on Saturday morning, April the 9th. You know, there's going to have all kinds of different things for the kids, you know, prize giveaways and all kinds of different things that are going to be going on. And, you know, I hope that you'll come out and everything. I know Saturday's going to be a little chilly, but come out and enjoy the day with the kids and everything, and enjoy this of the most cherished holidays. You know, that's all there is to it, Easter. So, last thing I got is today is National Library Worker Day, and I want to congratulate the staff of West Virginia's academic, public, and school librarians who keep the libraries running and keep West Virginia reading. That's all great, great stuff. I encourage us all to continue to read, visit a library, and absolutely in your community, you know, whether it be at a school, a college, a university, or just in the community. Public libraries in West Virginia hosted 1.1 million visitors in 2021. Great stuff. That's all I got.
All right, thank you, Governor. Let's now go to Dr. Clay Marsh, our coronavirus czar.
Well, good afternoon. And following up with what the governor said, we know that as the rest of the world sometimes gives us the ability to see the future, so is the rest of the world, particularly in Asia and Europe, dealing with the BA.2 variant of COVID-19. We're seeing that now become the most common sequenced variant for any new case in the United States. And the northeastern part of the country is starting to see cases go up. Now, what's really important is that in the United Kingdom, they saw cases go up first, then they saw hospitalizations, and then they're seeing deaths now as the cases are starting to peak there from the BA.2 variant. We have not seen hospitalizations. We have not seen deaths go up. We are seeing cases go up in very sequestered areas of the country, as I said, particularly the Northeast right now. And while we will wait to see what is the impact of the BA.2 variant on the U.S. and on West Virginia, it is important that people that are in the most vulnerable age categories, now 50 and older in West Virginia, do take opportunity, if you haven't been fully vaccinated, to do that, to get boosted. And if you're 4 months from your last booster shot and you're over 50 years old, you are now eligible to take the next booster shot. As the governor said, we do have the vaccine calculator, which is really helpful. You can enter in your date of birth and your shots. You need your vaccine card so you can enter that data in. That the information you put on that website is not shared with anybody, but we'll be able to help you understand if you're eligible for another shot. And if you are, allows you to either schedule that shot right on the vaccine calculator or allows you to put that as a reminder on your calendar. So when you are eligible for the next vaccine, that you'll be reminded automatically. And that is on vaccinate.wv.gov and is a really, really good tool to have. So as we go forward, we see that although everything looks good right now for us in West Virginia, we are very much in the mode of prevention now from the next series of potential problems. And the more we can vaccinate, particularly our older population, the more that we will see protection from hospitalization and death from COVID-19. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Dr. Marsh. Next, we'll go to Dr. Ayn Amjad, our State Health Officer.
Well, good afternoon. The governor did mention about the reconciliation deaths for COVID-19. I'll just give a small explanation just to remind everyone that it is a part of our death reporting process that we reconcile the deaths from last year. So in 2021, efforts to improve our data quality was reviewing all the death certificates. We still have the COVID-19 death reports that providers are submitting so that we can accurately report COVID-19 deaths in a timely manner. But after reviewing the COVID-19 death reports to the death certificates from 2021, 122 were found not to be COVID-19 related, hence the 122 that were removed from our dashboard. But this is an ongoing process, and we do appreciate all the providers who are still filling out those reports so that we can have timely information as needed, and we'll continue to review them as necessary to get accurate data. Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you, Doctor. Secretary Bill Crouch and retired Major General Jim Hoyer are also joining us today and are available for questions. We'll now go to questions from members of the media. The first today from Charles Young with WV News.
Hi, this is Charles Young with WV News. Dr. Amjad, I want to follow up a little bit about the reverse reconciliation process. I know you said this is ongoing, but you said we had just gone through 2021. So are we caught up now, and this would be something that we just have to maintain going forward, or do we still have old records that need to be reviewed? Thank you.
Dr. Amjad, please.
Yes, Governor. Charles, so we've caught up now through 2021. So we're caught up to date to answer that one question. And it is something that we will be doing for now because even though we've gone electronic with our death certificates, the COVID-19 death reports that we've asked providers to fill out give us the daily numbers that we can provide for our dashboard. But then the reconciliation process does take a little bit of time to go back until we get the actual certificate of the person who passed away. But we have caught up to date so far up until 2021. But from January to April, it's just going to take some time to review those again. But it should be shortened, hopefully, now that we've gone electronic with the death certificates as well.
All right, thank you, Charles. Next to Paul Mullen with WCBC.
Good afternoon, Governor. Good afternoon, everyone. Governor, I want to get off the COVID track for a little bit. A couple of weeks ago, I was contacted by a resident of Piedmont, West Virginia, and they have concerns that they're not going to be able to access municipal water in the very near future because the Loop Mill that is located across the river had provided that service, and now that mill has been shut down for 2 years, and the service is going away. And they wanted to know if there's anything in your office that could be done to ensure them that they would be able to, one, access water, and number two, access it without having to pay a king's ransom to extend a line from Kaiser out to Piedmont, which is quite a different distance and would cost several hundreds, thousands of dollars, maybe over $1 million to do it. If you could give me an update on that, I don't know if it's come across your desk, please. Thank you.
Paul, I'm not sure I can give you a whole lot of knowledge about it. I do know that my Deputy Chief of Staff, Ann Erling, knows about this and is aware of this and working on it. And I'll get into it and see, you know, any information I can come up with, and we'll report back to you and everything. But you know, I am aware of it through that way, but I don't know a whole lot more of the specifics about it.
All right, thanks, Paul. Next to Mark Curtis with Nexstar Media.
Good afternoon, Governor, reporters, and panel members. First of all, Governor, a sincere thanks for your tribute to Tim Kaufman from West Virginia Health Right. I did a profile story on him last Friday about his death and all of his work on the front lines of COVID. And we can never honor and thank these people enough. Angie Settle, who runs West Virginia Health Right, and her whole gang, and Sherry Young, the Kanawha Charleston Health Department, and her whole staff. These people are warriors. They are absolute health heroes. And so we salute Tim and all of them. I have two questions today. First of all, Governor, I'd like to get a quick reaction to this Hobart Mine development, this proposal to build a big solar farm out there and industrial park and tourism and a whole mixed use of that property that was announced yesterday. But I do have a COVID question, and maybe the doctors can address this. There are 12 areas of the United States now considered hotspots, and Dr. Marsh mentioned the Northeast, which is bad, having trouble seeing a big rise in cases. But two of the hotspots are next door neighbors, Eastern Kentucky and and northeastern or northwestern Virginia, right across our borders, are two of the biggest hotspots. I sent a picture to your staff, and it looks pretty dire. And I guess with numbers going down in West Virginia, are you concerned people are going to let their guards down? What's your best advice, especially when we have two neighboring states and the interchange of people between the states is pretty common, two neighboring states that are hotspots? What's your advice?
My advice is whatever we do, we can't drop our guard, that's for sure. But Dr. Marsh, maybe you can give us a whole lot more input on that. And Mark, before we go to Dr. Marsh, let me just say this, that I appreciate what you did for Tim Kaufman. And you know, he really is and was, without any question, an incredible hero, a health hero, but an incredible hero, period. That's all there is to it. And he'll surely be tremendously missed. But in regard to Hobet, all I would say to you is just this. I think we're still in the infancy stages and everything, but we're moving. We're moving in a good way. That property is enormous, and it has many different areas of potential development. But it's in somewhat of a tough area, but nevertheless, the great part about it is we're moving in ways to do as much as we possibly can to develop the whole area and tens of thousands of acres of land and the potential development that we have there, highway and everything. A lot of good stuff can happen right there, and we're going to try to stay after it and not just forget about it. But Dr. Marsh, nevertheless, if you could give us some more detail about the other question Mark asked.
Thank you, Governor, and thank you, Mark. Well, certainly we do know that the BA2 variant is growing all across the United States and almost certainly will also grow in West Virginia. And as you point out, Mark, there are border states that do have areas of higher amounts of this variant. And so it's really an important moment for our state and people in these surrounding areas to take heed and to protect themselves. And by doing that, protect all of us. And the way that people do that, as we've said many times, is to take the appropriate precautions, maintain current vaccination status. If you're older, particularly now, and you're greater than 4 months from your last vaccine, this is a really important time for you to get revaccinated. If you're immunocompromised, you should also do the same thing. We also know that there is more and more information coming out about the impact of long COVID, the long-term consequences of getting infected from COVID, and people with mild disease have about a 20% likelihood in some studies of having some persistent health problems from COVID, and people that get really sick in the ICU and be on ventilators maybe as high as 40% or more. And there's data coming out suggesting that brain changes may be chronic. And heart changes in a recent study just came out today from the United Kingdom suggested that following a group of people, about 800 people, 20% or so had heart abnormalities who have mild COVID by MRI scanning, and looking at these same people at 6 months, that about 58% of these people have persistent heart abnormalities from getting COVID-19. So it's really important for us not only to protect lives and hospitalizations in our older, most vulnerable people or immunocompromised people, to make sure that people are vaccinated, but also in our younger people and people that might be at risk for long COVID, because we know that vaccination reduces that risk about 50%. So given the situation, there is no better time to go make sure that you are fully vaccinated. If you have questions, go to the COVID calculator. The governor talked about the vaccine calculator on vaccinate.westvirginia.gov, or make sure that you are protecting yourself if you're younger and you haven't been vaccinated yet. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mark. Next, we'll go to Randy Yohe with West Virginia Public Broadcasting.
Good afternoon, all, and Randy Oye here from West Virginia Public Broadcasting. My question is for Secretary Crouch. Sir, what's the specific plan within the DHHR for the 15% CPS worker raises? What I'm trying to understand is that if positions are collapsed for use in raising the wages of others, won't the shortage of CPS workers be even greater?
Secretary, please. Yes, please.
Yes, sir. And thank you, Randy. We're working very hard to free up dollars through positions that have been vacant in DHHR for some time. We're looking at those based upon the age of those positions and how long they've been vacant and where they're located in the department. So the governor has directed me to fund that increase for CPS and APS workers and folks, critical staff in the Bureau of Social Services, and we intend to do that. We're doing that, we're being very methodical here to make sure we do that in such a way that we maintain the number of positions that we need to provide the services throughout the state. These are critical jobs. I've said this before. These folks are heroes throughout the state and save children every day. Seems like all we really hear many times are the bad stories, and there are some just terrible stories that we really just, our heart breaks for families and for children. But our folks do a great job out there, and they deserve this raise, and we're gonna have that done. And at this point, I don't want to jump the gun too much, but we're pushing to have this done before July 1 of this year, so that those raises go into effect prior to the July 1 raises. The problem with the salary increases that the governor proposed and the legislature approved across the state are that once those take place in July, then we have to wait weeks before we can do another one of that size. So we're going to try to do this before to get it to get these funds to these folks early. So we're being very careful to do this carefully, and again, I'm going to follow the governor's direction on this, and we're going to get these people those raises. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Randy. Governor, I'll turn it back to you.
Okay, I just want to talk with you just 1 second, just about this is, and I'm speaking to all West Virginians. Is there a better coronavirus czar than Dr. Clay Marsh? And the answer in my book is absolutely no. He's telling us that there are new variant strains. One, I guess, is the Omicron, now what we're going to call Omicron 2. And we know that as what's happened before is, you know, these show up maybe in Europe or wherever, and then they make their way, and then they're California or New York or whatever it may be. And then eventually we end up dealing with it in West Virginia too. Now, and we do know also that we're, you know, the third oldest state in the country and the highest as the most vulnerable state, you know, with more chronic illnesses than any other state. And we know where we're positioned. We're not South Dakota. You know, we are positioned where everybody from Philadelphia to Baltimore, D.C., or whatever it may, is traveling through West Virginia all the time. Millions upon millions upon millions of people. So the likelihood of them bringing us something is awfully high. And from the likelihood of our age and from the likelihood of our illnesses, we're a real target. Now, with all that, if you believe in your governor, if you believe in the great Clay Marsh, our coronavirus czar, just got through telling us, you know, about these variants that are out there. If you look at that map, it's all green today. And you look at the numbers that are hospitalized, just a little over 100, and you look at absolutely the numbers of that are inmates that are infected or whatever it may be, all numbers look pretty dadgum good, don't they? Dr. Marsh is telling you one thing. Jim Justice is telling you one thing. We have the ability to stop this thing right in its tracks right now, right this minute. Now, I know you're tired of hearing Jim Justice tell you that you need to get vaccinated, but I'm calling on all the kids out there, all the kids that have moms and dads and grandmas and granddads and everything, or aunts and uncles and everything, please, please push them, especially if they're over 50 years of age, to get their booster shots. Push them to get vaccinated. And all the moms and dads that are out there with the kids and everything, did you not just hear Dr. Marsh say of the heart issues? The heart issues that can come with this terrible, dreaded killer. The heart issues that can linger on. Why take these chances? Why take the chances? I've said to you over and over and over, how many people do you know that had dire consequences from taking the vaccine? And then how many do you know that we've lost that had a terrible bad outcome? How many do you know that died that weren't vaccinated? Or how many do you know that died that even were vaccinated? But how many do you know that got vaccinated and had an unbelievably bad reaction to that vaccination? How many do you know that got vaccinated and then died without COVID, without anything? How many do you know? And it can't be very many, if any. So absolutely, it tells me in every way, we can stop this right now. I know the sun's shining. And I know without any question that the map's all green. And I know that things look okay. But I also know we better pay attention to Dr. Clay Marsh. We better pay attention to more variants that are on the horizon that will come. And they will come, and if our booster shots are out of the 4-month period or whatever it may be, we're exposed. Our children that aren't vaccinated are exposed. We got to remember that. So please, please take that to heart. And please really, really seriously consider that. And the only other thing I would say is, Randy, your question, Randy, you know, was about DHHR and some issues there and everything else. And I want to tell you just this, and this is exactly how I feel. You know, without any question, we can make DHHR better. And that's our job, to make it better. That's why, basically, I vetoed House Bill 4020 and said, what we really need to do is more of an in-depth study. We need to bring someone in, you know, like a potential BDO or whomever it may be, and absolutely go top to bottom and try to make things better. We shouldn't do that hastily. We should do that with real thought, because hastily leads us to the potential of maybe losing Fed dollars or whatever it may be that families critically need. Randy, we'll make it better. We'll make it better, absolutely, and I know we're going to make it better together. So thank you for your questions, and really and truly, the only thing I would add is just this, is we'll follow up on the situation in Piedmont, West Virginia. I've already directed my people to go start that right now. And Paul, thank you for that. And the last thing that I would say to you is just this. Please take real heed to what I'm trying to tell you in regard to these vaccinations. They're safe. They're really safe. And really and truly, there'll be another variant. There's no way around it. There's going to be another variant. We don't need your name read. We absolutely don't need some lingering health issue, whether it be heart or whatever it may be. I'm no health expert. I'm not that at all. But I can tell you from the standpoint of all the information we gather, you know, that what we try to do is be transparent and report to you every single thing we know. I'd take the vaccine. I would highly urge you to do exactly just that. So thank you so much. God bless all of you. Thank you.